Okay, so if you've pressed on this video, you've either had a crazy rhythm, you had a very good work ethic, and you were very productive, you were getting things done easily, quickly, on time, and you were just on a roll, but you've fallen off and you're struggling to get back on track, or you're just looking to improve your work ethic and productivity in a general aspect. Now, for me, I mean, it used to be a huge problem, like work ethic and productivity. When it came to being productive or just active in some sort of way, I was very, very bad at it. I used to be very lazy. I used to delay things so much, procrastinate. It get to the point where I procrastinate where I'd end up doing the thing I needed to do days to weeks on later. And no matter what type of position you're chasing, what type of role, job, business, university, all of these things, no matter what you're chasing, if you want to excel and genuinely achieve it, and especially if it's something very extraordinary or far-fetched that people would think is far-fetched, you gotta first of all make sure that your work ethic and your productivity is like no one else's. So instead of chasing an extraordinary thing that you want, instead of chasing it with just doing ordinary tasks, start doing extraordinary tasks for it. And I'll go on to explain what these things are. But yeah, when it came with me, I used to be very lazy. I used to, for example, it was horrible. I'd have plates of food, and when I'd finish my food, I wouldn't even go downstairs to wash it. In fact, even worse, I would leave it in my room, and it would stay there. It would stay there. And like, for example, when it came to my room as well, my room was a mess. And like, I used to tell my parents as well, like, oh, like they'd tell me like, your room's a mess, sort it out. I'm like, and I'd bring up some like study that I don't even know if it's like credible or certified, but I'd say to them like, oh, well, study says that, like, if your room is messy, it suggests that you're smart. Bro, it's so like, now that was my excuse. That was the excuse I told them so that I don't have to, I wouldn't have to clean my room. But the point is, if you have a clean room, you will end up having a more clean thought process, because your environment will depict your actions, and your actions will depict your future. So if I want a clean mental thought process, then I need to make sure my environment is also clean to reciprocate to that. But anyway, what I eventually had to do was, I need to, at one point I just got a goal and a position, or just, I wanted to start chasing this one thing. And as a result, I knew that I had to change. I knew that there's so much about my work ethic and my productivity that I needed to enhance and change. And it all started from the first hour of my day. And that first hour of your day is very crucial, because in that first hour of your day, it will set a standard for the rest of the day. It will depict almost the rest of your day and what it's going to look like. So what did I do? Normally, what I used to do, which is something that most people already do or are doing, is they wake up and they go on their phones. They wake up and go on their phones, and they go on their phones for a good 30 minutes, 15 minutes. It doesn't matter how long, but they go on their phones to consume some quick form of dopamine. They don't want to get out of bed straight away and start their day. And that's a huge problem, because now you're slouching, you're being lazy, and as a result, whatever thing you're meant to do, you're procrastinating. But that's not even the issue. The issue is the way you start that day. If you start your day with a very lazy, procrastinating action, an action that's not good for you, such as slouching on your bed and going through TikTok, then chances are your rest of your day is going to be very unproductive and lazy, sorry. So what did I do to make sure I don't do that? So this is something recently that I've started implementing, which is very, very, very much helping my productivity and my work ethic, and that is to make sure not to go on my phone for the first hour as soon as I wake up, and for the whole hour right before I sleep. So, and the reason being is because, number one, I want to make sure I want to start the day with a right mental attitude, and by doing that, I can make sure that my rest of my day will be more thorough and more basically productive. And likewise, when I go to sleep, I make sure that hour before I go to sleep, within that hour, I don't go on my phone at all, because that way I don't delay my sleep. That way I don't delay anything else. That way I'm just, whatever I'm doing in that moment, I can get it done, and get it done thoroughly. So instead, what I start doing is I make sure that my first hour of my day is productive. And what I used to do is I'd wake up and just get ready and start going to the gym. Just make sure the first thing I do is go to the gym. And the reason being is because when I come back home from the gym, I'm in this like mental state where I'm like really ready for the day. I'm really like looking to work and I look forward to working throughout the day. And that's because I now set like a standard for me now. Like I told myself, okay, I feel good. I've just worked out and I'm feeling good. it's already the 1 hour or two, the first 2 hours of the day, and I've just done like what I'd consider work, and then now I'm feeling ready for the rest of the day. I'm swearing. Let me take this off now. And as a result, I just feel good for the rest of the day, and that's why when I end up doing work for that whole day, I don't feel bored, I don't feel tired, I end up enjoying it. And that's the thing, like in order to really be having a more improved work ethic and to be productive and to work without looking at the time and to work without being bored and needing breaks, you need to limit yourself. You need to put limitations on yourself where it's things that won't distract you. And it all starts from, number one, the beginning of your day, number two, your environment and the people you surround yourself with. And the thing is, like, your environment is so important. It is absolutely important. If you literally, things as simple as not having a clean room can really have an impact on your thought process. And I'm like a very good example. Like, I used to be such a messy individual. The way I do things, I procrastinate, and like my thought process, it just all felt like a mess until I started cleaning my room and sorting out and making sure that my environment, my work environment, is clean and is presentable and organized. And also, like, at the end of the day, your environment and the people you surround yourself with, it's an image of you and your character. So do you really want to have a messy room and a messy environment and have messy people and have people depict that image on you as well? No, you wouldn't, because your image is very powerful. Now, what ended up actually really helping me with making sure that I'd stay on track is to start implementing a routine in the morning and also sort of like a routine in the night. So partially in the night, I make sure not to go on my phone. That's a part of that routine. But the first morning, like my morning routine, is to make sure I wake up and, number one, not go on my phone at all. That is so I don't consume dopamine, so I don't procrastinate. Then in the previous day, before I wake up, I have my stuff there, the clothes I need, they're all ready for me. They're all prepared. I prepare it the day before, or I'm trying to. Sometimes I do forget, but I prepare it the day before. And what that does is I don't have to then go through the decision of making that decision now and consume. And I'll get like decision fatigue, because one thing with me is, I don't know why, sometimes I just struggle to choose what to wear. So in that case, I literally just wear one outfit, 2 outfits, 3 outfits throughout the week, sorry. Just to keep it simple, so I don't have to say, okay, I'll wear this, I'll wear that out, you know? And obviously you want to wear something clean, you don't want to wear the same clothes every day. So, but the point is, you want to have everything laid out the day before for the day that you're in, and that's so that whole day feels more planned, more organized. You end up actually having a more productive day for some reason. So for example, yesterday I listed out the things I wanted to do for today, and I fully listed it. That way I can track what I do today, and also because I've now listed things from the previous day, so now yesterday I listed the things for today, I've now like almost set a standard and a label for this day to be making sure I work through each thing I listed and actually get it done. And as a result, this day has just felt very productive and more inclusive to my work ethic. So definitely have a morning routine and a night routine. So, and like I touched on having limitations and like making sure you're not distracted. And by making sure you're not on your phone, you're actually removing yourself away from Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, and also people. People is a large aspect. You want to make sure you're not around negative people, because if you have an environment or people that distract you, then of course your work ethic will remain at such a low point, and of course your productivity will not scale or increase any higher, because you have not done anything to remove yourself, to remove elements that are distracting you and elements that are basically bringing you down. You're not doing anything to remove them. In fact, like, I had someone recently come up to me, they're like telling me that they want to be in a certain position in life, they want to be successful. But if you want to be successful, are you taking these things into considerations? Are you taking these things out of your life? Are you replacing them with something good in your life? Are you taking yourself away from bad people, negative people, and negative environments? These are things that you can't just avoid, you have to get them done. But anyway, eventually, once you actually start having a good work ethic and you're back on track, the way you stay on track is to make sure you're not consuming too much dopamine off the simple daily things that people enjoy, such as gaming. Gaming was such a big thing for me. I used to love gaming, and don't get me wrong, I still love gaming, but I have not touched gaming like that in a long time. When I used to game hours and hours and hours on end. And because the reason being is because gaming shows, TV shows, Netflix, they all give you too much quick dopamine. You just want to keep consuming and keep going through it. And as a result, your whole day goes past, and anything you plan for that day either gets A, procrastinated, or B, you just don't end up doing it at all. And I remember on Netflix, like, they would say the next episode, and I just press the next episode, and then it comes up again. I'll tell myself, okay, I'll stop watching after this episode, and then next episode, boom, I click it again. And it becomes a cycle that I can't escape. And the way I had to stop that from happening and make sure I end up being more productive and more just concentrated when I'm working is to remove, and as much as it may seem peak, you want to just remove it out of your daily life. And that's what I did. Like now, because of course, yes, you can really limit how much you game, but then dopamine is something you crave. So you're gonna keep wanting to do it, and eventually you just fall on this track where maybe the next 2 days you end up playing even more longer than you're supposed to. So I've just decided to just try cut gaming off until I get to a certain position in life where I can control it. I've decided to cut TV shows and Netflix shows that are like hours long, and I cut them off until I'm in a position in life where I'm able to actually control it. And you won't be able to control it at this current stage. Some people can, don't get me wrong, but you won't most of the time be able to. Why? Because you're not that character yet. You're not that level where your character's ready to be, number one, that position you want, number two, that business you want, number three, that the amount of money you want. You're not in that position to be able to control and genuinely, psychologically, like mentally, physically, all of that, just be able to handle it. Like, for example, I don't believe I am suitable yet to have $1 million. Why? Because my character is not there. My character's not at that level where he should be able to handle that money. Meaning I'm not the best version of myself yet. And that's the thing. You gotta have that perspective, because if you really want a good work ethic, you gotta have something that tells you, okay, you need to work harder for these things. And yeah, I was about to go on a bit of a tangent, but so yeah, I'm not trying to keep this video too long, but work ethic is like, cut things out until you can control it. So gaming for me used to take so much time on my day, used to make me procrastinate. I've removed that, and I feel good, because now my dopamine, which I used to be using, which is spent on games and like shows and like all these nonsense, now is being spent when I spend time on work. So now when I work, I actually enjoy my work. And that's the thing, because I enjoy it, I keep going through it and I keep continuing. Sometimes it's actually mad. Sometimes I'll like lose track of time because of how much I'm just involved with the work I'm doing, and I'm not bored. But sometimes this one thing will happen, is even when you're enjoying it, you'll still want to like go on your phone. It's like so close to you, you might as well just have a little quick break and go on your phone. That's a distraction. That's gonna make you that's gonna make you basically stop your work and consume dopamine off your phone, and then procrastinate whatever work you're meant to be doing. So keep your phone away from you. Anything that's a distraction, keep it away from you until that work is done. So yeah, literally make sure that you're spending your dopamine on work, because dopamine is meant for your work. Realistically, it's meant for something to boost you and make you keep doing it. So if you're now smoking, doing drugs and drinking alcohol, you'll get dopamine off that, but it's gonna keep telling you to keep doing it, keep like taking those drugs and alcohol and all these things, and you can end up consuming it more and more. It's bad for you because you're spending your dopamine wrongfully. You're not doing it in the correct aspects. But instead, if you spend your dopamine on let's say working on something, like or building, or like literally doing something productive, you're telling yourself to keep going. And then when you get the dopamine from doing it, you end up actually enjoying it and end up continuing wanting to do it. You end up craving the work, and that's the best part about it. And that's why people out up there are such a high position in life. They're so smart, because they know this. They know that their dopamine is a very, very powerful weapon. It's like a very powerful tool. So instead of using it on and they control it as well, because sometimes they will use it on things that that could be not the best for them. But the thing is, they're able to control it to the point where they get the work done. So don't spend your dopamine on video games, because that's going to ruin your dopamine. It's going to make you feel so bored when you work. It's going to make you feel so tired, and you just don't have the energy to do it. you don't want to do it at all as well. The motivation is not there. Don't spend your dopamine on shows, Netflix shows, drugs, alcohol. It's all just there to make you basically destroy yourself and weaken yourself. But yeah, this video, I'm gonna end it there. But genuinely, that's what I've been doing, and although I'm not the best and I'm not the most productive I can be, it's a long way since where I came from. It's a long way from where I came from, and all I can say is I'm grateful, and I'm grateful to God, because I would not be in this position right now through the experiences and the literal trials I had to put myself through. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm gonna probably make no videos, or maybe I will, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. So